Hello. There are two things you should know about today. 1, it's hot as all get out. 2, I got my COVID booster yesterday, and it's not as bad as the second shot, but ooh, I'm drained. I just feel weak. So yeah. And this, like, I got better stuff I should be doing than filming this right now, but this was the least draining. Just sit in front of a camera and talk about books. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing next on my to-do list. Now, it is the least physically draining, but and probably mentally draining too, but emotionally, I failed May. So, like, I gotta swallow my pride and admit it. I brought in 2 more books than I read. I'm consoling myself with the fact that when I started this goal at the beginning of the year, it was really a year goal. I wanted to bring in more books this year. No, I wanted to read more books this year than I brought in. And to keep better track of it and to keep on top of it, I did it by month. And then it just gradually became like, oh, read more every month than I bring in that month. But the original goal was year-wise. I just found it easier to break down by month. Especially because I know me, and if I had the year, then I'd be doing what I've done for a couple months now, and like bring in a whole bunch and be like, I've got time. And then have to read like 30-something books or something at the end. Like, it'd be insane. So it's better if I keep on myself from month to month. That being said, there is a good chance, because I came out ahead a couple months, that I'm still ahead or breaking even though I failed in May. My birth month, no. But I'm not a math girl. I will always choose the option that lets me do the least math. So I'm just gonna roll the 2 over to make sure I stay on top of it. I could be breaking even right now. I could be fine. But just to be sure, we're rolling the 2 over. So then on June, I already brought in 1 book. Well, it's June 2nd. In June, it's gonna be whatever this plus 2 is what I need to read. So already I need to read 3 books in June. I don't foresee that being a problem. I've got a couple romance books lined up and I devour those, so. All right, now for what I read in May. I think I already talked about these. But first I read Epic. It's good, it's cute. Kind of motivational, I guess. I don't know, just the story of God fits a lot of typical storytelling archetypes, and we're part of it. Yeah, good. I don't want to like dwell too long because I think I already talked about these in a previous video. I like me better. Cute, high school, rom-com, sports, woo, kids learning to be better and falling in love and gaining self-esteem. We love it. Then I read 8 is Enough by Tom Braden. It's very dated. The book's from like the 70s, and like half his kids are grown. So he like raised them before the 70s. But the point is he has 8 kids, and that's enough. And as somebody from a big family, I am interested in other big family stories, especially by people who were in the big families, because they get it in ways that other people do not. I did mark this one up, and I did like him being a typical dad, and then I think Signs of the Time, and then the way he talks about his wife were all things that were interesting to me. It's interesting how dadness seems to transcend generations. He's a very dad in this. What I think is cool is that even though he is like a man and a dad of his generation, he seems very lax to me for his generation. Like, he has his standards and the way he thinks things should be done, but a lot of his little snippets in here have to do with him acknowledging that he thinks that way, but also feeling like it is important that he lets his kids be their own people, and they are not him, and so they're not going to be exactly who he wants them to be, and he doesn't have control over that, and he just wants them to succeed and be well-rounded people in the world. So yeah, I liked him by the end, even though he has a weird propensity to call his wife, the mother of 8 children, a girl consistently. And there's just general like weird phrasing and ideas of the age. I liked him. I thought it was pretty cool. Robert Frost selected poems. That's what I read next. It was less poemy than I thought it was going to be. He likes to just tell stories, but in the format of a poem. So there's like dialogue and full, like, it's a story. So this is closer to like some poems and the rest of the book of short stories, which I didn't know. I didn't know that that's like who Robert Frost was. Because we all know like what, the 2 roads diverge in a yellow wood, like that one. And then I think there's another one of his that's very common, that's also very poemy. And now he has a lot that are very like short story-ish in the form of a poem. So like, but like those aren't like the ones that we all know. So, but that's apparently a lot of his work. So it was interesting. I also didn't know he was from New England, and I'm going up there soon, so that was a happy coincidence when I was also reading the New England review next. I enjoyed it. He's not like my new favorite poet or anything, but it was nice. As I said, next was the New England review. I got this because I wanted to see what the literary scene up in New England is like what they're into, the style, because I will be moving up there at the end of the summer. I think I found a new favorite lit mag. Everything in here hits. Everything. That's an exaggeration. The vast majority. Like, look, I was like using the like burgundy to mark ones I thought are like really good, the ones I enjoyed a lot, so to like revisit later. And I do that with a lot of lit mags because like I've already waded through it once. If I want to revisit something, I just want the good stuff, you know? Anyway, and I marked, as you can see, I marked like nearly everything. I marked almost everything in here as something worth revisiting. They're good. I might, when I have more money, need a subscription, because maybe I'll buy one more of these, and if it also just hits all the way through, then I'll get a subscription, because oh my gosh. Normally it's like lit mags I feel like are really strong in one area and not as strong in others. Specifically these ones that do like different things, like obviously ones like American Short Stories, Rattle, which is all poetry. That's like all they do, that one genre. And so it's either hit or miss for you, depending on if you like what their editors like. So I'm talking more about the ones that are nonfiction and fiction and poetry. I feel like they're normally really strong in just one, maybe one or two, and at least one of them falls flat. This hits on all categories. It's so good. And even just flipping that around like that hurt my arms. So then I read Meredith Alone. It's me. I'm alone. I got a kick out of it while I was reading it, taking it around. And when people asked what I was reading, I'd be like, it's me. I'm Meredith. And I'm alone. I read it in May because it is my birth month and it says Meredith on it. Imagine my surprise when a lot of other people read this in May for Mental Health Awareness Month. Rude. It is about me. I just rest here for a second. What am I saying? But yeah, this is about Meredith Maggs. She lives in her house with her cat and she doesn't leave it. So she's like struggled with mental health her whole life. She's been abused, and then there's like one major traumatic incident that just sends her into her house and she never comes out again when we start the book. So it was really good. Very character driven. There's obviously plot in there, but it's more like individual little, like, this is happening and how do we deal with it? Okay, now this is happening and how do we deal with it? But it's very cute. It's very nice to read. Meredith has such a heart for people that it's like you're rooting for her so hard to not be alone anymore. Especially, maybe not in the beginning, but once you see her interact with people, and you see how much she like really enjoys them even through like the anxiety of interacting with it or with them, it's like, oh, you get all the friends and you should leave your house and make more friends. She just is nice. So, and then finally I read Batman Night of the Owls. I thought for a hot sec that I'd already read this. Nay, not true. I read the prequel to this, the one before it. I think it might be just Batman Court of Owls. I don't know what I read. I read the one that was before this because I read the little, like, what is it? There's like a little synopsis, yeah, at the beginning to be like, this is what happened before. Nope, that is all the credits. There's somewhere, here we go, previously, where they're like, this is what happened before. And I read that, and I was like, that's what I read before. So this was all new to me. It was very fun. I love citywide crises that like require all the Bat family, like all hands on deck. I love seeing them all. I love seeing all their different stories and how like the art is a little different. Like it looks like, if not the same artist for all of them, then very similar artists for all of them. I think it's the same though. But the way the artist changes the visuals for different characters, I think is very cool. I think Nightwing's in particular is like very differently told on the page. Not like crazy different, but like you can notice a difference. But then of course it all revolves around Batman, and it's good. My one complaint would probably be that, so these are all like different issues that they then form together into one book telling the story of the whole Night of the Owls. There are some things that came out a little out of order, which makes sense. Maybe you don't have as much space in one issue, like it's not a major issue. But when you're compiling the story, I see no issue with rearranging some of the issues internally to make them make more sense as a whole book. If it really hurts your soul to do that, put a little note at the beginning so people know like, okay, this was originally with that and came out as one issue, and then this big chunk of story came out later as its own issue. Do it, but rearrange it to make it make more sense. I'm trying to be like ultra purist and this is the way the issues came out and this is the order they came out, and so this doesn't vibe with me. It undermines the storytelling, I feel like. So, and yo, I'm so tired and so not wanting to do things. I did not even pick out June books yet. I started filming. I didn't even pick out June books yet. Give me a minute. Hello and welcome back. It was a couple seconds for you. It was at least a minute for me. Welcome to my June TBR, or as it should be known, everything I just grabbed off the top of the stack without really thinking for this month. All right, last minute, I grabbed everything else, and then last minute I was like, what did I even say I was gonna read every month anyway? And I remembered nonfiction. So we've got The Irishman, Frank Sheeran, and Closing the Case on Jimmy Hoffa by Charles Brandt. The only reason I know about this is because of BuzzFeed Unsolved. 10 out of 10 would recommend BuzzFeed Unsolved, which is now Watcher. Go watch them on Watcher instead. They're still doing mysteries there. But they did Jimmy Hoffa on BuzzFeed Unsolved. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. It was on the top of that stack. The Florida Review. I said, I read a literary review every month. A literary review. A literary review. That's what I read. A literary review every month. And this one's been sitting around for a while, and it was on the top of the stack. I also get to read fiction every month. This is what my best friend got me for my birthday. Lunar Love. It looks so cute. She's so cute. And it came with a bookmark. And she got me a sticker because she bought it on Indie Bookstore Day. Thank you, thank you. Hold your applause. It's so cute. She got me a signed version, and she signed it, and then she did her little Chinese name stamp. And it feels good. It feels good as a book. I'm not gonna spoil anything for myself. Cute. Wait, what? I'll read it to you. Always a matchmaker, never a match. Olivia Huang Christensen is excited / terrified to be taking over her grandmother's matchmaking business. But when she learns that a new dating app has made her Popo's, you probably know how you pronounce that, traditional Chinese zodiac approach all about animal attraction, her emotions skew more towards furious / outraged. Especially when LA's most eligible bachelor, Bennett O'Brien, is behind the app that could destroy her family's legacy. Liv knows better than to fall for any guy, let alone an infuriatingly handsome one who believes that traditions are meant to be broken. As the two businesses go head-to-head, Bennett and Liv make a deal. They'll find a match for each other, and whoever falls in love loses. But Liv is dealing with someone who's already adept at stealing business ideas, so what's stopping him from stealing her heart, too? Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? So yeah, that's this month. And then lastly, I said I read comics too. Batman, Haunted Night. It is from the same continuation, I believe, as The Long Halloween, and I love The Long Halloween. Like, that's my ish. So excited for that one. Earthquake. Just kidding. Thanks. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. Stay cool. Drink some water. See you next time.